Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the intense and complex story of Bangladesh's political turmoil. From its roots in the 1971 liberation war to the explosive events of 2024, there's a lot to unpack. So, grab a seat and let's get started. It all begins in 1971. Bangladesh, formerly East Pakistan, fought a bloody war to gain independence. The brave souls who fought were part of a group called the Mukti Bahini, or the Liberation Army. To honor their sacrifices, the government later reserved 30% of government jobs for their families. A noble gesture, right? But fast forward to recent years, and things started getting complicated. Over time, more and more people began protesting this reservation policy. By 2018, the protest had grown so large that the government decided to remove the reservations altogether. You'd think that would calm things down, but nope, it actually set the stage for even more drama. Then, in 2024, the High Court stepped in and said, "Hold on, that was the wrong move." They ruled that the government couldn't just remove these reservations. This reignited protests across the country, and this time, students were leading the charge. Things quickly turned violent. Now, let's talk about Sheikh Hasina. She's been the Prime Minister since 2009 and had just won a fourth term in 2024. To try and calm the situation, she announced a new policy: 5% reservation for the families of freedom fighters, 2% for minorities, and the remaining 93% open for everyone else. But that didn't go down well either. The protests escalated, and tragically, over 1,000 students were killed in clashes with armed forces. This only fueled the anger, and the students demanded Sheikh Hasina's resignation, calling her a rajakkar. Now, rajakkar is a heavy term in Bangladesh. It means traitor, someone who didn't support the freedom fight in 1971. You can imagine how that inflamed the situation. To try and keep things under control, the government imposed a 3-day curfew in Dhaka. But the students were determined. On August 5th, a massive crowd gathered outside the Prime Minister's house, demanding her resignation. The military gave Sheikh Hasina an ultimatum: resign and leave the country within 50 minutes. She resigned and fled to India, which was confirmed by Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar. Chaos erupted as protesters stormed her residence, looting and vandalizing everything in sight. Videos of people ransacking the place went viral, and it didn't stop there. Angry mobs destroyed statues of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of the nation. It was a symbolic gesture showing their discontent. The military then took control, with Chief Waqar-uz-Zaman announcing that Bangladesh was now under army rule and promising elections soon. But wait, there's more. There are rumors that the USA was pressuring Sheikh Hasina to allow a military base in Bangladesh. They allegedly threatened that if she refused, parts of Bangladesh and Myanmar would form a new country. This isn't just some wild theory, there's historical context. The US has a track record of using geopolitical pressure to maintain its influence. And in this case, it said they were ready to destabilize the region if they didn't get what they wanted. Think about it. Allowing a US military base in Bangladesh would significantly increase America's strategic presence in South Asia, right next to India and China. But Sheikh Hasina stood firm. She didn't want her country to become a pawn in a larger geopolitical game. This defiance likely didn't sit well with powerful forces. Now, let's switch gears and talk about China. There's a $1 billion river project in Bangladesh that has both India and China vying for influence. Historically, Bangladesh has strong emotional ties with India, thanks to their support during the 1971 Liberation War. But economic realities can't be ignored. Sheikh Hasina was negotiating with China for more funds to help her country, especially with the ongoing protests draining resources. Sheikh Hasina visited China last month, hoping to secure more financial support. But the outcome was underwhelming. China only agreed to the $1 billion river project and a few other smaller projects. This wasn't the boost Sheikh Hasina was hoping for. Some speculate that China, sensing her vulnerability, decided not to fully back her, which might have indirectly fueled the protests. Back in Bangladesh, The protests were spiraling out of control. The students, already enraged by the killings and the Rajakar comment, saw Sheikh Hasina's concessions as too little, too late. The military, now in control, promised elections, but trust was shattered. The country was in chaos. Videos surfaced showing people looting the Prime Minister's house, sleeping on her bed, and eating in her kitchen. It was a stark symbol of the government's collapse. Statues of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the revered leader, were torn down. The very fabric of the nation seemed to be unraveling. Then, the military stepped in. Chief Waqar-uz-Zaman addressed the nation, declaring that the army was now in control and promising elections. The big question now is, can the military stabilize the situation? And what will the new elections bring? There's also a lot of speculation about external influences. Was the USA really behind the protests because Sheikh Hasina refused their demands? Did China play a role by not fully supporting her, hoping to gain more leverage? And what about Pakistan? There are whispers of Pakistani agencies funding the unrest to destabilize Bangladesh further. The international community is watching closely. A destabilized Bangladesh isn't in anyone's interest, but power plays are nothing new in global politics. The US, China, India, and Pakistan all have stakes in the region, and their actions will shape Bangladesh's future. So, where does this leave Bangladesh? With the military now in control and elections on the horizon, the country's future is uncertain. Will external forces continue to influence its path? Only time will tell. The people of Bangladesh have shown incredible resilience, but they face a long road ahead. Thanks for sticking with us through this intense story. If you found this video informative, hit the like button, share it, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into global events. What are your thoughts on the situation in Bangladesh? Let us know in the comments below.